Shout out the Hoops reference. 6 things nobody saw coming this season. Pause. But
the best parts of the NBA over the last few seasons has been the fact that there have consistently been teams and players coming out of nowhere, surprising us with their play. Every team and individual player comes into the season with a certain set of expectations, and then we always get a handful who either do way more or way less than expected. This brings us to today's video, where we'll be discussing 6 things in particular that nobody saw coming this season. These are the biggest surprises.
Easy's the same background music for years. Hey man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Come on,
of the year so far, both the good and the bad. Before we start though, it turns out a good amount of you watching right now aren't even subscribed to the channel, so if you enjoy the content, consider hitting the subscribe button, as not only does it help out a ton, but it also very much appreciated. Now with that being said, let's begin. The first thing we'll be discussing today that nobody saw coming is the Indiana Pacers having the best offense in NBA history. That's
man, I swear to God, there's a team that does that every single year. I think the last time this happened, Rick Carlisle was coaching the Mavs. And then, didn't the Kings have the best offense of all time last season? Am I tripping on that, y'all? Am I tripping on that? SCH Wapo. Is that Jaylen Brown in chat? What's good? What's good, man? Yeah, this happens every single year, dog. I think the bigger surprise is just Tyrese's play. We could just full stop right there, but the Pacers having the best offense. Is it surprising? Yes, I guess. I mean, anything that has best ever in it, I'd never expect, especially from a team coming like the Pacers, but
that's right, you heard me correctly. So far, the Indiana Pacers have the best offense in the history of the league. This is, of course, measured through team offensive rating, which calculates the amount of points that a team generates per 100 possessions. The NBA record was just broken last year by the Sacramento Kings, who had an offensive rating of 119.4. And this year, the Pacers have an offensive rating of 123.6, blowing the old record out of the water. For reference, the gap between the Pacers and the former record-holding Kings is the same difference between the league's second best offense and 11th best offense this season. Obviously, there's still a lot of basketball to be played this season, but even if they
yeah, it was held by last season's Kings. Okay.
Hold on to the record by the end of the year, their ability to put up a ton of points is definitely for real, and something their opposition needs to be worried about.
So just FCHWPO
has been putting on a point guard masterclass this season, finding the perfect balance between creating for himself and others. The team around him loves to move without the ball, get out in transition, cut backdoor, and find open spaces to get quick shots off, and they play at the fastest pace in the league. With this kind of play style, it does unfortunately come with some dreadful defense, as they are currently ranked second to last on that end of the floor this year, but at the very least, their games are very fun and entertaining. The next thing nobody saw coming this year is how pathetic the Grizzlies look without Ja Morant.
Yeah, I'll count this one. I'll count this one, man. I did expect them to play worse. Cause the way there was, it's kind of like similar to the Celtics without Kyrie back in the day. I don't know what y'all like. I understand records and small sample sizes got y'all fooled, and they played some games without Kyrie that, you know, they played fine. Same thing with the Grizzlies, but yeah, they're missing Ja Morant right now. They are missing Ja Morant right now. Did y'all see that's not his actual brother, right? Ja Morant on Twitter. That shit got me dead. Yo, Omar put that in the topics chat yesterday. We'll watch that after this video, man. Ja Morant. Hey, what's good, People's Mix? What's good, man?
Already discussed this topic a few times in other videos, but it obviously needs to be discussed in a video like this because of how shocking they've looked. The Grizzlies have been the 2 seed back-to-back years in the Western Conference, and Ja Morant has missed quite a bit of time throughout those seasons. In the past, the Grizzlies have been able to maintain playing at a high level in his absence, but this year, they sank fast, as they're currently the 2nd worst team in the West, and the 4th worst team record-wise in the whole league.
I do not follow playoffs.
I know they're
here on
not
Twitter.
just missing Ja Morant, as Steven Adams is also unfortunately done for the year, and other rotational pieces have struggled with the injury bug too, but in the past, the team has had a winning record in games played without Steven Adams, so it's hard to completely write off their struggles with that excuse, especially when Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. are still out there every night. The loss of Tyus Jones clearly hurt them way more than anticipated. Their younger players aren't quite looking ready for bigger roles, and now they've dug themselves a nearly impossible hole to get out of when Morant gets back. The next thing nobody saw coming this season is the 76ers offense actually improving without James Harden. Last season, Joel Embiid...
Oh, I saw that coming. I just didn't think it'll translate to wins. But in terms of how that offense was going to flow, I thought it was going to be better without Harden, man.
Won the MVP award.
What I didn't see was Tyrese having the season he's having. I'll say that. Did not see Tyrese being a 27-7 dude. But in terms of how that offense was going to flow, I kind of saw it.
And his 2nd straight scoring title alongside the elite playmaking talent that Harden provided, as he led the league in assists. When Harden left for LA, you probably would have expected the Sixers to get a bit of a boost defensively while struggling more offensively, while the guys adjust to the new roles that they're in. But what has actually happened is quite the opposite. I discussed earlier that the Indiana Pacers are breaking records offensively as the #1 ranked offense in the league, but the Sixers are actually the ones right behind them, ranked #2 on offense, putting up 120.9 points per 100 possessions. New head coach Nick Nurse has come in and successfully maximized the talent of both Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, and when they're on the court together, they've been incredibly difficult to stop. Both Embiid and Maxey have taken on more playmaking and facilitating in the offense, and as a result, they're both averaging career highs in assists. Maxey is also taking another leap as a scorer, putting up 27 points per game while maintaining his incredible efficiency. Joel Embiid is leading the race for the scoring title for a 3rd consecutive year as well on top of it. Before the year started, most analysts worried this could be the season that things crumble in Philadelphia, but now they're positioned to get themselves right back into the conversation at the top. The next thing nobody saw coming so far this season is Jaime Jaquez of the Miami Heat being a top 5 rookie. This year's draft class came into the league with a lot of hype, but when you look at...
I was pretty high on Jaime Jaquez. Top 5 in what everyone has been saying is a stacked draft class. Did not see that coming. I will say that. So he's right on this.
the guys taken at the top of the draft, there are only a small handful of players making an immediate positive impact. Victor Wembanyama has been sensational on both ends and looks as advertised. Brandon Miller has been playing like a solid two-way wing. Asar Thompson
I don't think he's a one and
playing
done.
like one of the best perimeter defenders in the whole league. And Chet Holmgren, who is technically a rookie, is blocking a lot of shots and scoring the ball well in Oklahoma City.
Chet's
the rest,
that dude,
however, need a lot of work.
Chet's that dude.
Jaquez, who was drafted 18th overall by the Miami Heat, has been
High floor, low ceiling type of guy. I think you meant. Oh, never mind. That's the right thing. Yeah, I think Jaime Jaquez is that type of dude. I don't think he has star potential, and maybe he's able to prove me wrong. But especially for the Heat, and this is a team that's trying to win now, that ended up having a relatively high draft pick. They made the high draft pick. I don't think they need to get that low risk, high reward dude who, if it doesn't pan out, bro's gonna be a bum. But if he does pan out, he can be the next All-NBA type of caliber player. Like, they didn't need to make that play. They need dudes who can contribute right away. I think this is kind of similar to when they drafted Tyler Hero. Like, Tyler Hero, they don't need Tyler Hero to be the next franchise cornerstone of this team. They just need a dude who can get buckets right away. And Tyler Hero was that dude. I think they found the same dude with Jaime Jaquez. So shout out to the Heat, man.
Stepping up big time on a Miami team in desperate need of more shot creation. They struck out on landing Damian Lillard, and then Tyler Hero got injured early on this season, so Jaquez has gotten a ton of early opportunity, and he's made the most of it. On the season, he's averaging about 12 points, shooting 52% from the field and 39% from 3, with 3 games scoring 20 or more points. He's a 22-year-old rookie with crafty footwork and a natural knack for
the game.
From all 3 levels. If there's one thing that Miami knows how to
Love
do,
that word,
it's
man.
maximize the talent of unheralded young players, and they're once again doing it here. The next thing nobody saw coming is the Orlando Magic having the most well-balanced roster in the league. The Magic are currently in second place in the Eastern Conference standings after missing
Minnesota?
the playoffs 3 seasons in a row during their
OKC?
rebuild. And with all of the young talent that they've accumulated, they now have a group that, top to bottom, is filled with players that can contribute in different roles and thrive.
Minnesota,
when I say that they comfortably
OKC?
go 12 deep in their rotation, I'm not exaggerating, as they actually do have 12 players who currently average at least 13 minutes of playing time per game.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, both Markelle Fultz and Wendell Carter Jr. have missed a lot of games due to injury, but when they're back, they're going to have a good problem on their hands regarding whose minutes get reduced, because everybody is earning their minutes. Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner are leading the way scoring the ball for the team. Jalen Suggs is emerging as a Marcus Smart regen on the defensive end. Cole Anthony is the team's 3rd leading scorer in the 6th-man role. Gary Harris has been a solid 3-and-D wing. Goga Bitadze and Mo Wagner are both giving them good minutes in Carter's absence. Jonathan Isaac is back on the court looking like a truly elite defensive talent. Rookie Anthony Black has even looked like a defensive player early on that can make some noise. And Joe Ingles is the lone veteran of the group, knocking down threes and helping out in the locker room. And finally, the last thing nobody saw coming that we'll be discussing today is the Minnesota Timberwolves emerging as real contenders in the West.
So this is the question with the Timberwolves, though. Even with what y'all seen so far. And let me know in chat right now. Are they real contenders? Real deal contenders. Real deal contenders. Nah, no. They gonna be the Philly of the West. Nah, that's crazy. That's dick suck. YouTube, let me know. I'm not seeing too much on the YouTube side of things. Maybe I need to turn on live chat. I don't know. Okay. Dust Ball Noah on Twitch. First time chat. They remind me of Utah 2021. Second round exit. Someone will figure them out. Maybe. Okay. Hey, chat saying no. I haven't seen enough for me to answer. No Nose Curry is the only yes I've seen. DSG Piccolo saying it depends on the matchup. Were the Atlanta Hawks real contenders in 2015? Nah, let me chill, man. I can't play with Ant like that. The Atlanta Hawks didn't have an Ant. What's a better one? What's a better one? Utah Jazz. Y'all nasty for bringing up the Jazz. What type shit, man? Like, were the Utah Jazz contenders when they had D. Mitch, Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley, Joe Ingles, Royce O'Neal, great coach? Was that a contender? Shot the crosswind first time shot. Was that a contender though? I don't know. I think this is what the Suns could either end up being. They could either end up being one of those teams. Shout out to Napkins for the first time chat as well. They could be one of those teams, or they could be like the 2021 Suns. Right? Young core. They got a vet on the squad. I don't even know who Minnesota's vet would be at this. They got Mike Conley. Now, Mike Conley isn't playing at Chris Paul's level. But, they're a young squad having a breakout season. They got a him on their team. Suns got D-Book. You know what I'm saying? The Timberwolves got Ant. I think those are the two lanes that team could be. And would you classify the 2021 Suns As title contenders, I would say so. Shout out to Sassari for the first time chat as well on the Twitch side. I wouldn't write them off. I wouldn't write them off just like that.
The Minnesota Timberwolves are tied with the Boston Celtics for the league's best record, and they're in first place in the Western Conference. They also have the league's best ranked defense.
That too, right? Like, yeah, I think, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have them winning the championship this year. Even if they keep up this pace, I don't have them winning the championship this year. But I think ceiling 2021 Suns, what they probably end up being is those 50-win Jazz teams. What the Grizzlies have been for the last couple of years. I think that's what they end up being.
Which is something you haven't been able to say about a Timberwolves team in a very long time, after years of defensive struggles. Last offseason, they traded for Rudy Gobert, hoping to accomplish exactly this, but his first year with the team was filled with a ton of struggles with fit and chemistry, so coming into this season, it was hard to fully buy into this group, but now, they seem to have it all figured out. Gobert is back in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation, and they've been ready to go head-to-head with anybody. Offensively, they've handed the reins over to Anthony Edwards, who is averaging a career-high 26 points per game. Karl Anthony Towns has settled into a secondary offensive role and has actually been playing the best defense of his career too. Jaden McDaniels has also been a huge key to their defensive success, and Naz Reid is an amazing big man off the bench, so you can just tell things feel different with this group.
Yeah.
And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment.
Shout out to Hoops Reference for the video. I do want to mention a couple more surprises this season, good or bad. He did not mention Jordan Poole. My goodness. Did not mention Jordan Poole. I think Tyrese should have been his own segment instead of the whole Pacers team. The Cavaliers have been an unpleasant surprise this season. I definitely thought they would be in closer to this tier than the tier that they're at right now. What else? The Detroit Pistons, again, did not have extremely high expectations for them, but worst record in the league, 17-game losing streak bad. Did not see that as well. The Clippers, unpleasant surprise. Thought they'd be better. The Warriors, thought they'd be better. The Rockets, thought they'd be worse. Definitely thought they'd be worse. In terms of good surprises, Minnesota's a good one. KP's fit for the Celtics. It surprised me. No cap, it surprised me. And Tyrese Maxey again. Tyrese Maxey's been crazy. But yeah, shout out to Hoops Reference for the video though.